Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome my friends and welcome to my channel Fountain Pen Therapy, and my name, as you know, or maybe you'll find out, is Vincenzo. Come state? State bene? Good. I'm glad you are. Glad you're enjoying your day. I hope you're enjoying your pens. Change it up a little bit here from staying away from pen reviews or single pen reviews. And what I have for you is a review of these 5 Ultem pens that I purchased recently. I got the bug. I believe I was looking at a video from Inquiring Minds. He had received some Gravitas pens, and he had and you reviewed one of the Ultem pens, and I was always a little bit curious about this Ultem, so I started surfing Ultem pens and see what I got, and I didn't want to spend more than $100 on any of these, and so I ended up buying these 5. 2 are pocket pens, 2 are fountain pens, and 1 is a roller ball. Varying prices. We'll review them in detail. It won't be too long, but if you're curious, you want to see what Ultem Pen looks like, well, you've got 5 of them here. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. So we're back with the pens. And what I propose is we take a quick look at the pens inside and out, some of the design, some of the feature of each one, and then we'll do a writing sample. Now, there are 5 of them, so I will try to get through to them as quickly as I can without, I do want to give, the right time to do them justice. So we'll take them one at a time. First of all, let me look at this pocket pen from Gravitas. This is probably from all of them, I would say that this is my number 1 pick. That black nib is certainly very enticing, and we'll see in the writing example, it's just butter smooth, thick and wet. Just the overall quality, build quality of Gravitas is unmatched, at least in these samples of Ultem pens. I like the way it posts. It gives us a nice look when it's posted, and it gives you the right size. So it is a pocket pen that is difficult to use but is usable. Worst comes to worst, you can write with it if you kind of squeeze it in there like that. So it is a pocket pen, but it's meant to be posted. Obviously, it posts very comfortably, and it's just wonderfully balanced. There you have it. There's you can eyedrop most of these pens, all of them, I would say. Very nice. I like the steel or metal portion here that has kind of a I don't know if you could see that on the camera. Yeah, you could see that. You could see that zigzag sort of texture, which is really nice. So it's not slippery, and that nib, as we shall see, is just magnificent. Sorry. The pointed finials are also a very, very nice touch. So that is my number 1, the Gravitas. After that, I must say this is the Ensso Italia. I was somewhat disappointed in this one. I was expecting quite a bit more, and I'm just wondering if that cheap EDC version doesn't beat it. The clip is, thank God there's an upturn there. There's a flare, because it's very, how could I say that? It has some rough edges. I guess the material just goes underneath, and that's why, because you can't lift this. I do like the 2 finials, but inside I have problems. Take a look at this. Every time I ink any pen, somehow there's ink that is drawn in there, and I just can't figure out from where. There may be leak in the nib unit. I'm going to have to check it out, but no matter what I've done, and I've had to change the nib on this pen, by the way, because the nib was just a disaster. I tried my best to do something with the nib. The nib, here it is. This is the nib, the Ensso nib. I tried to open up the tine, smoothen it up. It was just a total disaster, and I just gave up. So what I did is I replaced it with this Vizier broad nib, which is really nice, as you can see. Now, the other thing is, you see that scroll work, that kind of Roman Greek scroll work right at the tip there, although that's nice. But when you ink it, it's just a mess. Trying to, get into those crevices to clean up the ink. I just, maybe it's because of this mess here that's created inside. It kind of disillusioned me a little bit. So I wasn't overly impressed by the Ensso. I've bought now 2 pens from Ensso, and each one, unfortunately, has not given me the best writing experience, put it this way. So that's the Ensso. After that, I have this little cheap pocket EDC. I gotta tell you, I like this little pocket pen, but I'll give you my one major, dislike. Look at the nice touch here. It has a little ball. You can see the ink swishing in there. It does have a clip that you can take out. Look at that nice finial there. It opens up, and it does post, and I'll get to the posting in a second. Nice O-ring. Unlike the Ensso, I don't get any ink in that chamber there. Nice and clean. And not only that, it's filled. So you can see it's doing its work. My only drawback here is that when I post this pen, it's just a free-for-all. So when it sits in my hand, that thing turns around and it disturbs. So I couldn't find a solution except one. The solution is to lower the clip to the point where it kind of serves to squeeze it a little more. And by squeezing it, you in effect, you prevent the pen from turning too much. So that's really the only solution that I could find. It's too bad because as you'll see from the writing sample, it really writes nicely. And look, it's got a nice design, nice and light. The inside is nice, and then when you close it up, it has this kind of octagonal shape to it, so it doesn't turn on you. Nice little pocket pen, nice and light, like that finials, the 2 finials. So you know what? At that price, I'm enjoying that pen. Similarly, this is the EDC. Now, I had made a mistake originally. I thought I bought the fountain pen, but as it turned out, I pushed the wrong button, and I ended up getting the EDC PEI Ultem with the titanium clip. But it's the rollerball that I got. But you know what? It's a nice rollerball. It's got a Schneider gel refill, which are, amongst the best. It writes really nicely. So you know what? I've gotten a rollerball gel pen made out of Ultem with a titanium clip. These titanium clips are really nice. I like that look. And I like the design. The design is nice and Ultem. It's got this little bevel here and a little bevel there, so the pen doesn't roll. It's kind of a roll stop if you needed one, but additional touch. So I like this EDC. And speak of EDC, well, we got the EDC fountain pen with that titanium clip. It's slightly larger than the rollerball sister or brother, and very nice pen. The nib is that Schneider nib. Now, it's a number 5 nib, which is too bad, but let me tell you, it writes really nicely. And again, I don't have that ink problem. I mean, the black that you see here is just the black from the color of the nib unit. I don't have that leaking problem. Very nice. It's got all the O-rings that you need to be able to eyedropper it properly. It's a little thin right here. If this thing had a number 6 size nib with a bigger section, let me tell you, it would be really at the price. But, you know, having said that, it's still a very, very nice, you know, at the cost is proportionate and is much cheaper than other Ultem pens. And if you're interested in trying to start out with an Ultem and see what this Ultem plastic is all about, well, these are good beginner pens, I think. And they write really nicely. So there you have my 5 Ultem pens of my Ultem collection. What I propose is that we I'm not going to do measurements. I will leave links to where you can buy each of these. And you'll be able to get all the specs there. But I will do a writing sample, and I will be right back. Okay, so we're back with the writing sample. The first one is going to be that, so this is the EDC Ultem PEI pocket fountain pen. I mean, I'm giving you the name as it appears on the internet. It's got a number 5 steel Schmidt fine nib, and really, really writes nicely. Must say, these Schmidt nibs never cease to amaze me. It's got this wet, it's a wet nib with a lot of nice feedback. So very nice. I think very constant, doesn't skip a beat, fast writing, really not a problem. So very nice. That's number 1. That's the first one. So let's, like I said, if it wasn't for that, the fact that it posts but keeps turning, the next pen on my list, and this is my favorite of the gang, it's the Gravitas Ultem pocket dropper. And it's got a, I think I chose a bold. This is a, so the nib is a Gravitas bold nib. And talk about a number 6 size. It is very smooth, buttery smooth, in fact. Very constant. And it's very wet. Really, really nice. Probably amongst, I'm going to do a video on the best nibs of 2023, or the best nib experiences of 2023, and this one might find itself on one of the lists anyway. I got to tell you, just buttery smooth, not a problem. That's me. Not a problem whatsoever. Really, really nice. So excellent Gravitas. So that's the Gravitas. Next on my list is the Ensso Italia. Oh, I mentioned the nib on this pen was completely unusable. So I've had to replace it, and I tried. I didn't try. I tried to replace it with something that's, low cost as opposed to a Yowo at $20-$30. Okay, so this is the Ensso. Whoops, sorry, that's me. Italia Ultem, and the nib is a Vasier. It's a broad nib, steel number 6. The nib is kind of a lot of feedback, a little scratchy, but very wet. Not the best in terms of consistency. Not very. It's let's just say acceptable in terms of consistency, but certainly beats the nib that was in it originally. Okay, then I have my, I don't know if this thing's going to work. This is the EDC. Sometimes these gel pens kind of dry up on you, but this is the EDC rollerball with a gel refill. I'm not going to spend more time on this other than to show you it's a fine. Writes, but as you know, we're fountain pen people, we're not rollerball people. There you go. And the last one on the list is this EDC Ultem PEI fountain pen. The nib is this number 5 fine Schmidt, very springy and kind of feedback that these nibs usually have, comparable to the nib that we saw earlier. So very constant, but lots of feedback. I'm sure you can hear that. So here you have it. Try to do as quick as possible, given that we have 5 to go through. Yeah, I mean, this Gravitas is just, the Gravitas is 10 on 10 in my view. I like this PEI pocket pen, even with the problem of posting. And I like this fountain pen EDC, except for that section. It's a little too thin for me, unfortunately. As far as the Ensso is concerned, I think it's probably the most expensive of the gang, and it's a real ripoff. I would stay away from it altogether. I don't think I've ever liked it right from the get-go. The nib was just awful. No wonder it was on. I think it was on sale. No wonder. It just doesn't do anything for me. So I would really stay away from that Ensso. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this Ultem Pen Collection, and if you need to buy one, you wanna experiment with the material just to find it, get your curiosity, I would go with these EDCs. I think they're good beginner Ultem pens. There you have it. Thank you very much. Ciao.